the summer, the normal philosophy is to head north in the summer months and to kind of follow a weather pattern due to the fact that the northern hemisphere of the globe gets more sun exposure in the summer, and so in the summer in the south it gets very hot, very humid. And of course, there is hurricane season as the ocean temperature warms up and storms pick up late summer. And so many people, especially nomads who live on their wheels, or people who have homes in both the south and the north, they follow this pattern of heading north in the summer. However, I've done that throughout my 4 years as a nomad, and what I found is it kind of doesn't make sense. Why? Because you are following the crowd, and up north there's a smaller landmass, and you have a higher density of people. So the traffic, the agitation and anxiety that exudes from this high density of people in a small concentrated area makes for a very unpleasant summer experience. That has been my experience. Anywhere where there is ocean, there is going to be a high density of crowds. Good to see you, Twista. Yeah, overall, I had a good day. In the beginning of the day, it was a little bit bad, and but overall, my day was positive. I mean, um, as I get older, it's harder to maintain my joy. But at the same time, as I get older, I recognize that bitching and moaning about it is not going to do anything positive. So I just have to feel the pain like everyone else. I have to be thankful for all my blessings. And I just have to try to get through each day. Um, I'm in this unique position where I kind of live by myself, which I like. Um, and I really don't want to be on the road anymore because I don't want to follow the crowds. I don't want to be in crowded Miami, and I don't want to be in the crowded Northeast or anywhere in the North in the summer. Shout out to Tony. What's up, brother? Yeah, even Canada, I'm sure, gets crowded this time of year. There's a lot of Floridians that are native Canadians, and they go back up to Canada in the summer. There, one is, how am I doing? Well, again, I acknowledge the pain of life, in all of us have our own pains and our own joys. Two is, I'm in this transitional period in my life where debating, does getting off the road make sense or staying on the road? Very hard for me to rationalize staying on the road because I don't want to be around people anymore as much as I have been. I don't want to, certainly don't want to be around the crowds. I know Tony empathized with that. And that's what really is hindering me about my thought process of heading up north because, my hotel stay ends like the second week of July. So I say to myself, do I just want to buy more time, head up north, and just wait for something either become available uh, in the real estate market, or just again just buy time, just keep getting through each day, right? Um, I don't right. Um, I don't want to force myself to go up north and be unhappy because I can see myself being miserable with all the crowds like I was last year. If you guys watched my videos last year, for those who follow my channel, obviously with COVID it was even more so. But with COVID there was less people than normal at the shore and by the ocean, and it was a disaster. And I don't want to relive that. I want to learn from my past. Um, the best time to go up north is the fall, September and October, period. I'm thinking of staying south for the summer. I want to try to figure out a strategy to stay south until August at least. I can stay in the hotel again. There's a couple properties that I am considering, or of course, again, I could just stay at campgrounds. I'm thinking of that, and I can figure out some type of AC system. I could figure something out. Um, but I think my strategy for this year is to stay south because I don't see the upside in going north. Even with the upside of seeing my mom periodically, she is not really in a position where um, it's going to be a relaxed atmosphere, especially with all the crowds. So, it's like it's probably almost better if I see her in the fall, unless there was an emergency. So, yeah, that's kind of like what I've been debating. How are you doing, Twister? It's great to see you. Let's go back live comments. We'll talk a little bit more about this. Thank you again, Tony, Andre. Andre says, tomorrow I'm going to get my second vaccine in Edison, Route 1. Yeah, shout out to Route 1 in Edison. I know it's a complete disaster on Route 1, but the good news is you're getting the second vaccine. Again, I had a worse reaction from my first shot than my second shot. Now it's been 2 full weeks since my second shot. How do I feel? 100%. Am I thankful I got the vaccine? Yes, at this point I am. Initially, I was hesitant. At this point, I am. Everyone has their own experience and their own health thing, but yeah, I would say overall be good. You can, sometimes I even do now go in stores with no mask on if it's not required. And that's the other thing. Like down here in Florida, guys, I mean, there's still a requirement and certain people still wear face masks, but Starbucks is fully open. Um, Everything in Florida, for the most part, is open. There may be some exceptions and some things not back to pre-pandemic, but I'm saying to myself, do I want to go back up north? And I know it's going to be a little bit more restrictive. Not that I care because I don't really go to like major events, and I think even with the vaccine, I think things up north are going to be a lot more open than the last year. But uh, that's another negative. Twisted. I'm sorry to hear that, Sam. That's okay. I'm just sharing. There's nothing to. I appreciate you. Just pass through the boredom of life. It may just be a season. Yeah, I wouldn't say bored. I think it's more related to losing money. Sometimes I have some money in some risky things, and it's a very small percentage. And sometimes when that doesn't work out, that makes me upset. So that's number one. Number two is, while staying at the hotel for a month or two is not an issue, I certainly don't. I don't feel like this is not a long-term strategy. So I think about that. But how do I pull myself away from too much negativity? Well, one is again, I overall I have a good savings account. I have good income streams, so I've mitigated my risk. So I feel good about that. Two is I'm grateful that I have the resources to have options, and three is I've learned to apply those two principles: mitigate risk, um, and be honest with yourself when it's time to pivot away from what's giving you pain. Like I say, if you had to ask me how are most people going to lose most of their money, in my opinion, it's going to be trying to make more money, or if they have an addiction, that's certainly true. But addictions, gambling, risky investments, though, that's going to be the majority of most people's financial pain. So obviously, look, there's also having too many kids. There's also not managing your money, not paying attention. There's also divorces, right? But if you're in any of these situations, what do you do? Well, what can you do? Is that's the question. So you start and you say, let me get my savings account together. Step one. Keep your source of income. Try to pick up a second source. Step two. Stop risking a certain amount of your money. Step three. Step four is, you know, um, uh, remember that if you have a savings account, if you have income, and if you're mitigating risk, you're in a good position. Even if you don't have all the money you started with, even if you don't have an abundance of money you thought you'd have, even if again, you always want to regain everything you lost. But sometimes the best thing is just say, look, put it behind you, move forward. Um, and be focused on your health. But certainly there's an abstract part of life too that as you get older, there's just a less excitement. Even as I'm at this point in my life, right? Starting a nomadic life is very exciting because there's a deep, adventurous exploration aspect. But then once you explore a little bit and you're at the point where I'm at, where I'm ready to settle, I could try to fire myself up to explore again, and I think I would find creativity. But I also find pain because I also know what's out there for me, and I don't want to just force myself to have a little bit of an adventure because even though I know I will definitely be exhilarated being on the road, I'll also be in pain. So the risk reward is not worth it. And the same thing with gambling, right? Or risky. You're going to feel a certain amount of exhilaration through the rush of risking money, but there's also going to be pain if you don't remember the past. So you have to mitigate risk. So it's the same thing with being on the road. It's like, and I want to have that adventure in the fall because that kind of is my risk management. In August, when hurricane season begins to really pick up, 80% of hurricanes happen between August 15th and October 20, between August 15th to October 15th. That's 80% or so of hurricanes happen in that time period. So June and July, not much happens, even though there's some rain sometimes in the afternoon. So for me, trying to get to August mitigates the useless travel, just to travel if you're not in your beginning of your journey. And I'm not in the beginning of my journey. I'm 4 years deep. So, and then the other part of that is obviously I don't want to just stay in Florida in my car because it's very hot, and I'm not in that intense mode where I really want to deal with it. If I don't have to, I don't have to. So, and then of course, there's always the option of getting an RV, but the RV is like Sam. You're spending a certain percentage of money to reinvest in a lifestyle that you only want to do a couple months out of the year. Um, so it goes back to this point where I've been in where just kind of buy time and hopefully something comes up that is going to fit my needs. And then I just bunker down, stay south in the summer, head north in the fall, and come back south in the winter. And I have a place. There's no anticipation of how I'm going to park, how I'm going to stay, the hustle and bustle. Now, is that a little bit boring once you have a routine? Yeah, but guys, look, it's like, you know, we're all on this journey, back to life counts. Tony, peace and quiet, solitude for the win. Well, Tony, I hope you're still in here, yeah, because I'm really feeling that at this season of my life, man. I was talking to my mom today, like I do every night on video conference, WhatsApp. Thank God for telephones, smartphones. And she was already telling me, like, it's very crowded up there. As we get ready to go into Memorial Day weekend here in the United States of America, which is an extended holiday where everyone goes again to the ocean or to the lakes or to vacation areas. And it's so unenjoyable to go on vacation to a crowded area because you're not on vacation, you're fighting the crowds. And this is why you don't head north in the summer, you head south. And this is what I'm trying to remember from my past experience, not theory. My experience tells me, especially on Memorial Day weekend, July 4th weekend, Labor Day weekend, and just about every weekend in the summer, it's a clusterfuck. For lack of a better word, excuse my language, it's a clusterfuck up north, especially the Northeast. And I say to myself, Sam, why would you put yourself in a position where your anxiety, your stress is going to be higher than it needs to be? What's your reward? Because let me tell you something, this is also based on experience, not theory. No matter what you do, when you get to the middle of July to the end of August, it is hot, even in the up the northern spot in America. Okay, so and you're gonna need some type of supplement to just a fan. I mean, you could get through. I got through, but there's going to be some suffering. So it's like if I'm going to end up being in a hotel up north or doing something, why even go up north just to deal with crowds and then still end up in a hotel? Don't make sense. And visiting my mom won't really be a great option because the way she's living, uh, it's going to be too crowded. She's got too much going on, and it's probably better to see her in the fall. And hopefully, if I play my cards right and stay in the South in the summer, that's the best time to buy a house in the South because everyone is migrated up north. There's less people, and people tend to stay away during hurricane season. And so, again, we're in this inflated economy, house prices, everything's crazy right now. So, I don't know how that plays out. And sometimes, that can get you angry. Certainly, you don't want a horrible recession and, you be the only one doing good because that's very selfish. I don't like to be selfish. At the same time, it's like, you try to do everything right, and you still get screwed by the system. But then I said to myself, Sam, the system, has been good to you. Look, I've been able to work continuously. I'm in a first world country, so you kind of got to pull yourself back and forth, I mean, you can get mad at anything if you let yourself, but there's no doubt about it. There's parts of the day where I just say, God, I'm just tired of this game because it is a game, and you get tired of it. Yeah. But at the same time, what can you do? You get a bitch and moan. Everyone's got their own problems. I'm just letting it out to share with you guys. This is my end of the night vent session, connect with you guys, and we build off things. So it's just like, because I don't even want to tell my mom some of this, because you don't want to tell like your mom, like, yeah. So you try to be conscious of who you share certain things with, because you don't want to put more of a burden on other people that already have their own problems. So we have to stay positive. Why? Not because it's really like this magical thing. It's just that, what's the alternative, man? Go negative, negative? Nah, that's not positive. So, you just keep going. Twist it. Forget the North, Sam. I pretty much forget. He goes, don't go. Oh, $5. Hold on a sec. One sec, brother. Let me pull up my laptop. We got $5 super chat. Forgive me for being slow. Oh, Oris Cleaning. Shout out to Dallas, Texas. All my cleaners out there. Age of the snowbird is over. People moving to Florida or Texas for good. That's an excellent point, man. Texas has border crisis destroying economy. Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, one is thank you for the super chat. Two is shout out to everyone in Texas. Shout out to all those who are cleaners. It's a great way to make income in this world. Um, Now, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't live in Texas. I watch a couple people that live in Texas on YouTube, couple nomads, and they've done videos from the border, and they've said they've been in Texas all their life. They're in their 70s that there's no crisis. They show videos of it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what part. I don't know what it is. I don't trust the news anymore. I don't trust. I don't even watch the news. I haven't watched the news. I mean, obviously last year with COVID, I'd watch YouTube on the news and the press conferences. So, but that was because we were just in a unique time. But I don't know who to believe with any of that stuff, man. I really don't. So I just try to stay focused on me, man, because there's enough. I'm fortunate to be where I'm at. So there's politics in the world, and unless we're in an emergency like COVID, or there's a major issue in the world, I really don't want to get into it, because that's what we pay the politicians for. Let them figure it out, man. I mean, I don't want to do my job and do theirs. I mean, and have like all these relationships that are severed because of like politics. However, look, when there's a major issue, I'm going to speak up if I feel it's a major issue. I mean, everyone has their own definition because everyone has their own experience, but you guys know where I stand. I spoke about politics during COVID. I speak about it when there's a major, major thing. And some people agree, some people unsubscribe, and I understand it. But like during a somewhat regular time, which I feel like we're kind of transitioning into now, it's just a waste of energy to get into BS. Everyone just has their own view, depending on their experience, on how they were brought up, on what they've experienced personally. Like I said, guys, was brought up in New Jersey, which is mainly Democratic, but don't forget we had Chris Christie, who's a Republican for like 8 years. Remember, he cried on Barack Obama's shoulder after Hurricane Sandy, and he needed federal assistance. And but at the same time, look, I've been enjoying my stay in Florida with DeSantos. But I've also made my money up north and then came down. So I don't know. We're in this weird thing where maybe because everyone's working remote, everyone's remigrated, that I don't know how much a lot of this means because everyone's from everywhere. So, how do I feel about the Mexican border? I feel there should be an Ellis Island, just like my grandparents came from Italy. There was an Ellis Island right off the Jersey City, Manhattan island, where immigrants would come. You'd go through a health check and you go through the basic things, and that's it. My grandfather was a janitor. My grandfather was a cleaner. Okay, that's what he did for a living. So, and then my father was an electrician, and I got into engineering. So every generation progressively moves up. So what should we do in Mexico? Should we build a wall? No, we could have a wall, but we should also have an Ellis Island. Register people, put them in some type of program where you cycle them through jobs if they're available. Because all the farmers in Texas, they want immigrants. Why? Immigrants do all the labor on farms that Americans don't want to do. So it's like, we all want our cake and eat it too. We want all the fruits and agriculture, which Texas is known for, and other states, that we want all that work done, but Americans don't do it, guys. They can't even get people to do $15 an hour jobs, right now, extended unemployment and everything else. So, there's so many layers of the conversation that it's like crazy, So, and look, what do you do? Do you start your way up to become an immigrant, or do you marry Donald Trump? I mean, it's like, you could look, if I was an immigrant and I was in a third world country, would my first option be to register and to pick berries for $8 an hour and then have to send money back home as well? Or would I just try to find a rich MILF like Donald Trump or whatever, marry him, deal with him for 10 years, then divorce him and get out of Dodge? Everyone's got their own journey, but you have to put yourself in those shoes, right? It's like, if we weren't born here, what would we do to get here? If we had no choice and we were desperate, we would do what we have to do, and so, look, like I say, I mean, I think all the countries play us all against each other. Why? Because I think America prints money, China prints money, Russia prints money, Europe prints money. We just decide through a variety of things, like, you know, who we're mad at, who we're not mad at. We're mad at the Middle East. Now we're happy with the Middle East. We're America's the only country that ever used a nuclear bomb. We used it to nuke Vietnam. Now we're best friends with Vietnam. We get most of our goods. A lot of our goods are made from Vietnam. So, uh, I had a relative that was killed in Vietnam. Donald Trump dodged the Vietnam draft. So who do you believe? Do you believe a 70-year-old guy who was just a president who says USA, USA, he dodged the draft? And here it is, my immigrant family member joined the army, got killed. So, who do I trust? Not too many people. But am I going to solve the world? Nope. Oh, I'm missing a lot of life. Sabrina's in here. Um, love to you, Sabrina. Let's go Twisted. Forget the North, Sam. Don't go. You're better off going back to the car. The anger, the anger and resentment is not worth it, especially after all you've been through. Yeah. Look, as I get old, man, and I'm gonna say old, I'll be 41 soon here. I don't know, man. I'm in a weird place, man, where I'm not mad, I'm not sad. I'm just like, I don't know what I am, but I know for one thing for sure, I just don't want to make my life harder. I don't want to put myself in positions where I'm increasing my risk that I don't need to have, whether it's financial investments, whether it's um, physical locations, whether it's stress things. Now, obviously, look, there's always a counterbalance. You got to push yourself a little bit, or else you do become this lethargic person that doesn't persevere. However, it's like, you got to kind of pick your battles. What do I want to put my energy into? Do I want to put all my energy into sweat my ass off in the car and broadcasting live from the gas station? Do I want to put all my energy in dealing with the psychopaths up north at the Jersey Shore, eating funnel cakes, getting drunk? Starbucks is crowded. Do I want to put all my energy into debating politics? And I'm not even running for politics. Guys, at this point, I just want world peace. I want to have enough money not to have to worry about it. And I want to just kind of have a place to come home to at the end of the night with air conditioning. Is that going to happen? Well, world peace, I don't know. But even though we are in a peaceful place, if you look at the context of human history, so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful we're not in Vietnam times. Um, Regarding a home base, will it happen? Well, I say to myself, look, Sam, you can find a place. I can't find anything right now for 100K, but I could find something for 150K. So, even I get a mortgage on that, I'm still, at around $1,000 or so a month. And I have a place by the beach. Um, yeah, I have a mortgage. Again, I have some debt, but it's still relatively reasonable below my means. And I only travel at the height of hurricane season in the fall. And that's it. And then I come back and I have a place in Florida. And I just live like every other schmo that, you pretty much you're going to work till around 60 or 70. But if I'm able to continue to work remote or work in Florida and pick up side hustle, I am living by the beach. I am doing things every day that I want to do, even if I was retired. So what does it really matter? Do I really need to kill myself? What would I do differently if I had $1 million? I wouldn't do much differently. Obviously, I would have a little bit more luxuries, a little bit less cares. But at the same time, it wouldn't be dramatically different. If I had $1 million right now, would I travel up north? No, I wouldn't. If I had $1 million, I'd probably definitely go forward with securing a home base because it would be such a low risk, low risk item. I would still probably look at the same price range. If I had $1 million, I wouldn't buy a 300,000 or $400,000 house. I have no need for it. I have a need for a safe, legal place to consistently be by the beach, with temperature control and with a level of flexibility where I'm not totally entangled. So I think I go back to a small RV lot or a small mobile home or a small condo by the beach. Uh, uh, because the campgrounds, while I do like the campgrounds and the RV parks in the South in the summer because there's not a lot of people there. And I feel like I would have, because I looked at a couple today, I said, well, even though these aren't luxury places, they're by the beach, they're not on the beach. And, they're quiet because not a lot of people are in the South in the summer. So I said to myself, but the problem is then in the winter I'm screwed because in the winter those places are packed. You can't even get a reservation. And even if you can get a reservation, everyone's on top of each other, and it's like, I don't want to live that life either. So, yeah, Twister. Unless, yeah, to see your mom, of course. Yeah, and you remember, well, for those who watched me last summer, even when I went to see my mom, there was it was contentious because my one of my siblings was there. It was busy there, and there was some arguments. And I know my mom, she couldn't take that. It's just too much pressure on her too. So, I have to remember that. Like, I think in my mind, um, it would be good to see her, but the reality is she still has things that she wants to do that she hasn't stopped doing. And there's still one of my siblings that's close there, and so all those things are just going to end up the same. If you put all the math together, the equation ends up the same. It's like, no matter how you cut the pie, you can try to go back to your ex, right? And you say, well, I'll change this, but probably the equation is going to end the same because you plus them equals disaster, right? So you put me plus heading up north, plus crowds, plus family members, plus close quarters, plus packed Starbucks, plus packed beaches, plus I still have to figure out air conditioning because no matter what, it gets hot in July and August. We basically have an equation that equals a total disaster. You say, well, that'll give you some good content. We want to laugh. We got nothing going on. I say, guys, look, at this point, that's not my number one priority is destroying my life for content. Even if I gave that content, it wouldn't be that good because look, most people in the summer, they don't. There's not a lot of YouTubers. Not a lot of YouTube content consuming because people are on vacation. People are up north. Yeah, yeah. So you say inspirational nomads going live. You say I don't care. I'm at the boardwalk eating funnel cake. I'll watch them in the winter when I'm trapped in the house with my spouse and I wish I was in Florida. That's what happens. So I built up enough content with people who are around the world on different time zones, and just some people who are similar to me that they're not going to be in packed crowds. They're going to watch me go live and I talk about whatever, because I'm not going to be going from campground to campground saying, "Look, the guy," I don't know, man. I mean, I could, but I we'll see. Good comments. This my girl Sabrina. Hey Sabrina, shout out to New Orleans. I know you bad about it. Sam, you got love for the North because that's where you come from. But your heart is in the South. That's true. Perhaps a compromise. Well, I'm in South Florida. That's basically like up north but south. Somewhere in between. Nah, well, one is I love you, Sabrina. It's great to see you. I hope you're still in here because I know I talk long sometime on some of these comments. I'm not an in between guy, man. To me, South Carolina and North Carolina, they're like they're like very mild hot sauce, or they're like very mild sauce. I need hot sauce. I'm a guy that if I'm going, I'm going. I'm a guy that if I'm going south, I need to be in the beautiful tropical paradise that's Florida. I don't want to just be in the middle in North Carolina and some yoke. And even though I have some good viewers from North Carolina, but let's be honest, guys, I've been to North Carolina, been to South Carolina. It's yoky dokey. It's south of the border off I-95. The big deal there is you sell fireworks. This is the big deal. Uh, the Starbucks aren't the same. The MILFs aren't the same. The environment's not the same. North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, guys, it's a nothing burger. It's like Orlando. Even it's not even as good as Orlando. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it because it's like I'm just destroying my life, not choosing. Like if I stay in Florida, it's hot as f, but it's Florida. So, and again, even in July and August, North Carolina, South Carolina, all those areas, New Jersey, they all get hot. Yeah, it's true. They say the humidity level's a little different. There's going to be weeks, I guarantee you, the humidity level will be higher up north. I've lived both lives. So what I could tell you is this, guys. There's some people that watch from North Carolina, South Carolina, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and they wish I would say something different, but I'm not going to say something different because I lived this life. And what I can tell you is I'm staying south, at least for now. Sabrina, Sam, you considered renting an RV travel trailer for the summer to give you a little flexibility, but not commitment? Now, I haven't considered renting because renting an RV would be just as much as renting a hotel. And then I still have to pay for campground fees, and then I'm still in an RV. So if I'm going to do renting, it's going to be to do another 30 days in a hotel or, um, rent an apartment possibly or something like that. But I don't see me renting an RV because if you do the cost analysis on an RV, it's not worth it. Unless you really want to just get the experience of an RV. But I feel as someone who has basically stayed in RV parks and campgrounds as a tent camper, I know what the experience is. And I still know that you're better off being in the south in a campground or RV park in the summer than up north. Because up north, guys, it's a cluster. I did videos. It's a cluster, man, up there. Um, I did a video last year. Well, it wasn't that bad because it's still COVID, but I did a video last year during a power outage in a campground in New Jersey when there was like a tropical storm in August. So that's what I mean too. Like some of you people think like you don't get tropical storms up north or you don't get hurricanes. Guys, last year in the first week of August, New Jersey got worse damage and there were RVs damaged in a campground with I think it was like a tropical storm Ira or something like that, and ISIS or something like that maybe actually. And I did a video of it. So that's a lot of people think like up north you don't get storms and stuff, but I lived through Hurricane Sandy. I lived through that storm last year, and it's a disaster. Good question though, Adam. I'm here, Sam, laughing. Hope you had a good day. Yeah, the day was rough in the beginning. There was no, lost a little money. There was no ice in the Wawa soda dispenser. But the positive was I was productive in doing what I need to do. Um, there's positive in my life. Um, and I would, yeah, dildo emoji, D. Good job. Yeah. When in doubt, and D, I've been praying for you with your house closing. So hopefully that's going well. Yeah, that's the other thing now. Like, if you don't buy a house, are you gonna get squeezed out of the housing market? I don't know. We'll see. Thank you again, Oris Cleaning. Hopefully you still love me because I know I bashed a little bit both sides politically. Toasted. Yeah, I live in a border town in Texas. It's literally fine. Yeah, that's again, I don't live in Texas, so I want to say that. Two is, yeah, I've watched people that do live in Texas, and that's been their videos, their experience. But I certainly respect that everyone's experience is different. So shout out to you, Twist, and shout out to you, Oris Cleaning. D. Does your mom watch your channel? No, I don't think so. I've never told her about it. I prefer she probably doesn't. But I don't know if she does on the low. You never, that's the one thing about being a YouTuber. You don't know who's watching you. Right now, I got 70 people watching, 20 thumbs up. If you're watching, click the thumbs up. If you're watching the replay, click the thumbs up, leave a comment. Um, when I had a radio show, when I had a nonprofit organization on AM radio in Plainfield, New Jersey, my mom listened. And I remember one time my mom, because she was proud, and it was mainly about like spirituality, religion. But me, I've always been me, so I've always like kind of like pushed the edges of what I'm talking about, even when I was in a very religious mode. And so my mom said, Sam, I told your aunt, I told my sister that you're about your radio show. They're going to listen tonight. What's the topic? Because every radio show I still had a topic, and I said, oh God, so it was about masturbation. I did a topic about masturbation on a Christian radio show, even when I was doing nonprofit work. Why? Because look, I told the church, I told everyone, guys, I'm going to talk about real life. I give that radio station credit. They let it go. So shout out to them. Shout out to the program director. She was great. Shout out to the soundboard guy. He was a good guy. So look, guys, for me, I want to be myself. As long as what I'm doing is not hurting someone, and I got to speak the truth. If I have a good day, I speak it. We're gonna have fun. If I have a bad day, I'm gonna speak it. But we're gonna go forward, and I'm gonna speak it that look, I'm staying in the South. Now again, I thank God I have my career up north, because in my experience, people who were brought up in the South, most of them. are struggling economically. And they're getting priced out of the housing market because everyone from the up north liberal states are taking their money and they're coming down south buying houses cash. It's true. So, it's like, yeah, and Texas, they're getting all the people that made all that money from California and now they're coming into Texas. So it's like, uh, I don't know, who's right and who's wrong. The truth is probably in the middle. I don't know, but like I say, there's a saying in Florida: the further you go south, the more you go up north. So that's why I kind of like South Florida. And when I travel, that's what I kind of learned, like, because South Florida has that high diversity. It's not like a southern state, but at the same time, depending on what area you go, like if you go like certain parts of Panhandle or Tallahassee, shout out to my man, uh, what's my man's name that always watches my channel? He's from Tallahassee. You know who you are, man. You know I love you. Um, but in South Florida, guys, especially Southeast Florida, it's got the up north vibe, but it's still got the very independent or conservative philosophy with regards to tax rates and a lot of personal liberties, right? So, but you got the best of both worlds. You got the money from up north, and then you got the political environment of a higher level of freedom. So that's a great balance. What I've experienced in life, everything has a pro and a con. So I try to find what works for me. Fred, what's up, brother? Oh, Twister, $5 dildo in your face emoji, Starbucks for the win. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm back on my Starbucks, man. I'm now I'm drinking instead of I used to get the Pike coffee with soy, no sugar. Now I get the Americano with soy on the side, no sugar. Why? Because the Americano is always hot. Sometimes the Pike coffee is not hot, and I need my coffee hot, man. And I was thinking maybe it was you, Twister, who told me when I was making a coffee. One of the problems with the coffee was the coffee didn't come out hot because maybe I had a cheap coffee machine. But maybe I'll try instant coffee. But then if you do instant coffee, the coffee grounds are not like ground good. It's like So I don't know, but I need my coffee hot. Even when I dated that Asian MILF, she was the same way. When we would have cool coffee, it's the total buzzkill. So thank you, Twister. Thank you, Oris, clean and fresh. Out to you. He goes, Sam, are you extending your hotel stay here? I don't know. My last day is the second week of June. So I'm trying to decide now, but I'm thinking staying south until August. Why? Because Fred, you're in Brooklyn. It's crowded as hell up north in the summer by the beaches and by the lakes. And certainly I can find places up north that are not crowded, but they're going to basically be in destitute land, in land where there's nothing going on. There's no Starbucks. Like, Twista just gave me a file super chat. So I take that file super chat and I go into the middle of the country land of PA or Vermont or whatever. It's cooler temperatures. Yeah, but I'm not going to Starbucks. I gotta set up a tent. I gotta set up a tent. I gotta do a campfire. I got no Wi-Fi. I can't go live. I can't do anything. I'm sitting there looking at a raccoon. He's looking at me. I'm not this survival guy. Shout out to Adam. He's bushcraft out the wazoo. Guys, what do they call these guys? I'm a yuppie. I'm a yuppie, guys. I need the Starbucks. There's this guy. He goes live. He goes nuts in his old ass Class B van. That he don't like yuppies or what. He steals flashlights from the all night gas station. This guy's crazy. And guys, I'm a yuppie. Okay, I need to be in that. Even if I'm not, I gotta be in a somewhat high end area or peaceful area. And I gotta be by that living a vida loca. I'm not bushcraft. I shout to my guy Adam. I'm not bushcraft. I'm the type of guy to sip coffee with a MILF, and talk about, is your coffee hot enough? And she goes, nah, it's not hot enough. And then I don't know. That's how I feel. Uh, Back live comments. I love TD. Hope your house is going well. The house pursuits. Tony, leave Texas to Rusty in his RV. Yeah, well, Rusty's in New Mexico, a very liberal state. Why? Because he likes New Mexico in the summer, and he likes it. I don't know more than Texas, but he likes it a lot. So, but look, New Mexico has high levels of poverty. So, but Rusty was brought up in Texas. He was in poverty. He basically had a Mexican slave as his crop sharer. If you listen to Rusty's story, I mean, and I'm not talking about, but he shared his own videos that his family grew up as farmers, agricultural land, and they basically had a Mexican worker they had in the outhouse shed, and he picked most of their crops. Um, and that's where he died, in that shed. So, again, as much as people say they don't want immigrants, they do a lot of the work that is not going to get done if it doesn't happen. So, ask Donald Trump. I don't know. I've been to Mar-a-Lago, guys. You know who works at Mar-a-Lago? Everyone on not a green card, but a working visa. Okay, and he pays them below $15 an hour, no health care. So, again, total hypocrisy. It's like, this is my experience. So, my experience is, guys, the banana in the tailpipe is, I don't know. But look, if you want work, just work out there. I don't know what to say, man. There's so many different ins and outs of all this stuff. Suitcase. What's up, man? Shout out to Tampa. Did you leave Tampa? Hey, bro. Good to see you. I showed up. You damn right you showed up, man. How are you, man? I know last night they blew up the parking spot under the bridge, man. Were you able to find a spot? See, I really don't want to go through that again now. It's too hot now too. I mean, well, it's getting to be too hot. Shout out to my girl, Showgirls, aka Kathy. She's out there living in her vehicle by the Panhandle, Destin, Florida area, something around there. You're gonna be all right, Kathy, if you're watching. You're a survivor. I always told you that. You're gonna figure it out. Do what you gotta do. Secure a main job. What this is what I tell Kathy. Anyone living in their car right now. This is my opinion. Everyone should do what they want. If you're living in your car right now in the summer, and you're in the South or anywhere, and you're struggling, my advice would be to work the night shift job at Planet Fitness, at Walmart, wherever it's 24/7. It does not have to be a hard job. It does not have to be a high paying job. Why? Get out of the heat, okay? In or get the place. You don't have to worry about parking, okay, when you're working at night. Now, during the day, you're going to say, well, what am I going to do during the day? It's going to be hot. It's going to mess up my sleep schedule. Well, yeah, look, during the day, you can go to any public park. Okay, you can find a shaded area. It's going to be a little bit hot, but you can set some things up, and you have a peace of mind knowing that you don't need to be stealth. Okay, you don't need to kind of like keep one eye open because you're in a safe, legal place. Go to a nice, high-end public park. Go in the corner. Keep your car looking very respectable, and you could figure something out, and you can still do door dashing. And that way too. Now you've built up two income streams. You figured out where to park, and that's just what came to my mind. If I was really desperate, I would throw that out there as an option. There's no doubt about it. Just my opinion, throwing something out there. Mary Toss, hey Mary Toss, how are you? Great to see you, Mary Toss. Suitcase, forgive my marriage. There's nothing to ask for forgiveness for. Hey everyone, hey, I appreciate the hand wave. D, howdy you all. Good to see you, D. Praying for you. Twister, hello Mary Toss. Hello Suitcase. Hey, hello everyone. D, Sam. So negative tonight. I'm sorry. What's going on? No, I hopefully listen to the whole thing. I just try to share. I try to share the good and bad parts about day in life. But overall, I'm very thankful. And again, overall, I think most of my videos show a level of positivity, but with negativity. I mean, it's just life. And I'm sure you can testify buying a house. I'm sure you had some negative days. But overall, you get through it. You're probably going to have some very positive days. And you're going to be thankful that you got through it. That's life. I don't know anyone in life that has all positive days, or even when they have a positive day, when every moment in the day is positive. Look, there's some days where everything is hitting, and that's good. And there's some days where it's medium, and some days where it's bad. This is a very medium day. This is like a North Carolina day. It's not hot, it's not cold. You're meandering, okay? But there's nothing exciting either. So for me, I like intensity. Tony, it's only a few months away from the fall. I gotta try to get to the fall, man. You like that hoodie, bro? Yeah, I got this at the Jersey Shore, man. I bought a couple of these, Fred, at Jersey Shore because they had good material. This a couple years ago, and to me, I gotta have always gotta have a couple good hoodies, even when I live in the South. Why? Because like when it's times like this, when I'm in a hotel or eventually I get a home base or something, or I'm in Starbucks, and Starbucks is open right now in the South. It's not open up north. As far as inside the sit down, you can sit down right now in Starbucks in Florida with no mask. Everyone's chilling. It's a go. Everyone's vaccinated that wants to be, including me. So, but when it's cold, I gotta have my hoodie on. I got the air conditioner on. That's why, and I gotta have my hat on because I like to keep my head warm and I like to feel like cozy. Tony, yeah, he goes, it's only a few months away from the fall. Yeah, you can wait until then before you go see your mom. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Rent a small Airbnb. I've been thinking about that. There's not that many good ones by the beach, even in the summer, until you decide long-term plan. Yeah, I've been good point, Tony. I've been thinking about that. I've been looking at some rentals, and I've been looking at some places priced around 150K. So, that was my motto last year, like, So yeah, I mean, yeah. If I try to get to the fall, here's the problem if I don't secure something. Not that it's a problem, but this is my thoughts. I get to the fall, I go up north, and then when I come back south, I'm in the same algorithm. But we'll see where everything's at. But yeah, right now my thing is to get through one day at a time. It is possible that I secure a home base before I go up north. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. 72 people watching, 34 thumbs up. If you haven't clicked a thumbs up, leave it. Click it, leave a comment. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. Suitcase. Sam. I've been showing up. Good. Uploading like crazy. Okay. I broke my own record for views. There you go. And subscribers today. Good. I'm inspired to butt ass and stand up the gas pedal forward. Well, one is I love the consistency. It's the only way to do anything, especially a YouTube channel. Two is YouTube is a slow grind. You got to get a little lucky. You got to have some content that appeals to the masses. And it's a grind. However, I'm very fortunate that it's even grinded to this point. And like I've always told everyone that's done a YouTube channel, I try to make a note and I try to stop in. I try to click the thumbs up. I try to leave the comment. Why? Because I like to support people on their journey because I know what you're up against. You're trying to build a side revenue. Well, let me look at your channel right now. Let me see, and I'll see if I can do it. I got to copy and paste your thing. Suitcase and gas money. Suitcase. Let's see what video, if I can find it. I'll try to search if I can find it. Suitcase. So there you are. Suitcase. He goes, Dr. Watkins, one more time. Call that man. Yeah, I clicked that. I see you out there. Shout out to you, Suitcase. Yes, I see your videos now. I'm gonna click on. I gotta keep the volume off. I don't want to get striked. I'm gonna click the thumbs up. If you guys haven't, click on Suitcase and Gas Money's channel. Let's see how many subscribers got. Let's see if we can get them up there. Right now, Suitcase has got 16 subscribers. So show some love to Suitcase. He's out there trying to do his best. Subscribe to his channel. I don't know why I wasn't even subscribed. And leave a comment and click the thumbs up. That puts him in a little bit better algorithm. I'm leaving a comment right now, Suitcase. Hey, brother, keep pushing forward. I'll go back, Suitcase, now that I'm subscribed, and I'll leave some more comments for you, man. Shout out to you, man. Keep pushing forward, Suitcase. Love to you, man. Yeah, it's good to support people, man, because everyone's on their own journey trying to do what they need to do for them, man. Same thing. Now, there's been times in my life where you try to get your friends a job, and that can end up negative. So I'm not trying to say everything you do all the time. You can always help other people. You can only do what you can do. But something like YouTube, you can go on someone's channel, you can click the thumbs up, you leave a comment. That's encouraging. So it's like a low risk thing. It's like you're just trying to help them out. There's nothing wrong with that. And for some people, that's too much. You gotta nail that video for them to click that thumbs up because they don't like giving nothing out. I don't go that's good advice, Tony. Yeah, that was good advice. A lot of people have told me about the short-term rental. Now, technically, I'm short-term renting here, but I'm paying a little bit more money, but I have maximum flexibility. It's true. Suitcase. Hey, D. Tony. Thanks, D. Yeah, Tony, that was a good comment, though. D. We need to cheer up Sam. No, I'm good. Hey, Suitcase. Welcome, Tony. I'm good. I just like to share with you guys. I like to be honest because I want you guys to also know that when you have a bad day or when you have bad feelings, it's sometimes it's just normal. It's just life, and I never try to come in here and like cry the blues or like act like I have the worst. Cause I always try to tell you guys, I always keep in perspective. There's a lot of people a lot worse than me. My problems are very small compared to most people. And I am grateful, but also there's times today where I'm saying, God, what is I gotta keep doing all this stuff like just to play this game? I try not to get like that, but I don't know. As I get older, it gets harder. Like there's moments in the day where I just get like that, and I don't know why. But I'm trying, to just stay positive. Um, my man Tony, a nice small Airbnb by the beach for the win. It's the only problem with that, Tony, and I'm gonna check that out. It's good advice. I hate dealing with people. I hate being in someone else's house, man, because I don't like to be responsible, and I like to financially. You're 100% right. Psychologically and logistically, I don't like to be in someone else's space and then be obligated to the length of that term. Because right now, I can go to the front desk and say, I'm checking out. This isn't their room, per se. It's their corporation's room. It's their company. It's like, I'm not saying I'm right because financially, you're right. And I have to think about that. He goes, you can set up the laptop on the back patio. Do your work during the day. Go inside with AC when it's hot. Video chat with your mom. It's good advice in one sense. I mean, in one sense, if I was very shrewd, I would just rent a Airbnb or a small little apartment in the summer months in Florida in the South. Visit my mom up north and stay in my car in the fall. Come down to Florida in the winter, car camp because it's perfect temperature in the winter in the Florida, and then just keep repeating that cycle. That would mitigate most of my expenses. It would keep maximum flexibility and no liability, no maintenance. The only problem with that is there is a quality of life where you're never settled. And I think there's a season of life where you have to kind of build. I think there's three parts of life: survival, exploration, and building. And I think if I try to avoid that step of building, I think it's hurting me more than helping me. It's like if I tried to avoid the season of my life where I worked in ditches and I built my career, I think I would be suffering now. It's because I spent a season of life building my career, my spiritual life. Uh, I'm able to have the rewards of that. So I think if I build a home base now, I think in my elderly years I'll be rewarded for that. Now again, do I have to? Maybe the market tanks a little bit, and maybe I, I don't know. So those are the thoughts that I think about. D sounds nice. D dildo emoji. Good job, D. Excellent. It's good to always click that dildo emoji. Twister, Starbucks for the win. Thank you very much, Twister. You're very gracious to me. Thank you, Twister. And thank you again, Oris Cleaning. Forgive me for saying your name wrong. Fred, amen. Yeah, no, not extend. Well, I don't know. I have an option to extend my stay the second week of June. When that's technically when I'm going to check out. I haven't decided yet. Fred, yep, Oh, okay. This is a good comment. He goes, we're fully reopening in New York July 1st. Manhattan's a ghost town the weekend of the 4th. So I expect it to be crowded, yep, and congested like old times, yeah. Well, in Manhattan it won't be, but I'm sure like in other spots, like in spots by the water in Brooklyn and all those restaurants will be crowded. Um, yeah, man, I really don't want to. That's the biggest negative about being up north in the summer, man. It's just crowded, man, and forget about it by the beach and stuff. So I don't think I want to do that. D. Oh, these are a lot of good emojis. Bed emoji. I got a bed right there. Toilet bowl. I got a toilet bowl. Shower. I got a shower. Money bag. Praise the Lord for money, even though I lost a little bit today. Starbucks emoji. Got out Starbucks. I fed the squirrels today. Palm trees. See, one good comment. Gives a good emoji. When I get away from the palm trees and I go up north, they have plastic palm trees or palm trees that were planted there just for the summer. But it's not the same. It's not tropical. Oh, there's no pineapples up north. At least, well, maybe there. I guess there are pineapples in the supermarkets. A squirrel emoji. These squirrels. I saw a bully squirrel today. I had to I had to throw the peanuts to the other squirrels and then like pump fake the bully squirrel because the bully squirrel would like run over the other. Man, so I pump faked him and then I gave them so make sure everyone gets the same amount of peanuts. Twister. Yeah, it was probably just a cheap machine. What was that? I bought those in the past too. Oh, the coffee machine, yeah. But the instant coffee isn't grounds, okay? You just throw a teaspoon in the hot water and it's coffee. Yeah, see that's why, because that's what the Americano is in Starbucks, where they do the espresso shots or something, or the regular, and then they just put hot water. But the only thing with that is those the whatever coffee grounds they put in there, those are the real deal joints. So I don't know, man. I'm thinking about that though, because if I get a home base, I say to myself, am I gonna supplement some of that expense by cooking home more? Because that's the biggest benefit of a home base. You got more options to cook or make your own coffee, and you're not dealing with the public. Like I like going to Starbucks to get the coffee that tastes good, but I hate dealing with the lines, the people. Now, in the South, in the summer, there's not that much of those congestion points. If you go to Starbucks up north in the summer, it's a complete disaster. I've been there last year; it was a disaster, and I can't. I couldn't even imagine me waking up, okay, in my vehicle or wherever, even in a hotel, and then going to a crowded Starbucks up north. The personalities are different, the vibe is different, and everyone is there on vacation or whatever, and everyone has like this entitled spirit, like I'm having fun. I want my Starbucks, get out of my way, and it's that up north vibe, where everyone's a little bit more, the southern vibe. The southern vibe for the win as far as like how they treat you on average. Okay, that's true. The up north vibe, the up north vibe, guys. Fuck you, get out of the way, and that's the up north vibe on average. Suitcase, Twister. But still, Starbucks feeds the soul. Oh yeah, I agree with this. That's my experience. I agree with that. Maritas. I always get that. Yeah, extra hot. If you see that damn Maritas, if you see that little light blinking on the coffee machine, that means that the coffee's not hot. I think Americano coffee now, only because they make it like with that hot, boiling hot water for the win. I don't think I'm going to be getting regular coffee anymore. T, thanks, Sammy. Yeah, I'm praying for you every day with that house. I think you're doing the right thing. Tony, oh, Dunkin' Donuts better coffee, cheaper price for the win. Nah, nah, nah. I love you, Tony. You one of my best viewers, longtime member. I love you. Dunkin' Donuts is straight destitution land. Nah, I tried Dunkin' Donuts, Wawa coffee for the L, man, for the L. I know. In Canada, you guys got what do they call it, like Harry Hortons or something like that. Hortons, something like that. Harry Hortons, something like that. But not Dunkin' Donuts for the big L, man. I don't like Dunkin' Donuts, man. Serious, like acid reflux. Fred, nah, 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 nah. I tried Wawa's coffee. I tried everything. I tried the Colombian, the regular roast, the dark roast, Wawa coffee for the L. Now, I will say this: Wawa ice for the win. The fountain machine for the win. The ice, the soda on a fountain machine, that's the win. Okay. And even the chicken sandwiches they got, and the meals when you punch up on the screen for the win. But the coffee, double L. Can't do that coffee. Fred, I like that. Thank you. Yeah, I got a couple from the Jersey Shore. Thank you, Mary Toss. Today was okay. Worked. There was a mass shooting here. Said I saw something on my news feed on YouTube. And I said, "Am I going to click that?" And I said, "No," because it's the same debates. Are we going to have gun control? Does gun control matter? And I said, "Look, after last year where I had to get involved because things were just crazy, this year, guys, unless there's something like I'm not getting paid to get involved with that stuff. I don't want to do it because it's the same thing every year. We talk about the same stuff. Now it's my playlist. I documented in a playlist every one of my live feeds. The first live feed I did 4 years ago, whatever, there was a Texas shooting, and that was the first time I went live to talk about the Texas shooting and just experience the live. And so I don't like I said, the politicians, we pay them to deal with that stuff. They got to figure it out. If there's a major thing, then I don't know. We got to push the issue. But I'm so tired of talking about like those same political things. But I appreciate you bringing it up, and it's sad that it happens. But I don't think anything's going to change on that. I shouldn't say that though, because if everyone said that throughout history, I know things wouldn't change. But that's how I feel. Suitcase. Bro, I found a Crackle Barrel. As I type, someone just parked. Yes, see, this is what I'm talking about. Talking, yeah, taking up two, yeah, hashtag psychopath. Suitcase, I feel your pain, man. I lived that life for 4 years, man, and I think I'm done, man. I really am. But I understand. Twister, just subbed. Good. Yeah, see, now you got more subs. Suitcase, Sam. I have Starbucks every morning. I'm not mad at that. I buy a bag for six. Oh, do you make your own? One large cup I make pays for the whole bag. If you make your own, that's true. But when you make your own, it doesn't taste the same, and the soy milk is proprietary, and you can't buy that anymore. I like that soy milk, so that's the negative. I've got a propane burner. Okay. See, I would go crazy because I'm a no maintenance guy. I got to change the propane. I got to clean the cup. I got to clean the filter for when I can't find McDonald's. That's smart. And thanks for the sub. No, no doubt, man. I like to support people. Maritas. Yeah, I don't watch the news. I understand. I hate it. Yeah. We got enough of the news last year. At least I did. I'm done. And because before then, when I became a nomad, that was one thing I didn't miss. I did a video about it. Like, I hate the news, man. I hate all, because it's just to get people all worked up, and I think it's just done just to make people upset. But last year we all had to watch and we all had to get involved because last year with everything with the pandemic and all the other stuff, it was a disaster. This year, guys, I want to let, unless there's a major issue, I want to let the politicians deal with it. I want to let the people that are into that deal with it. I mean, I talk about it straight up. I told you guys, I'm sure some people got upset some things I said tonight, but that's not my life, man. For me at this point, I mean, again, I'll speak on anything where I feel there's an injustice or I need to speak my voice or I can help. But if I feel like I'm just gonna not make any type of difference or it's not gonna help people, it's just gonna, I just want to focus on what I need to do for me, man. And what I need to do for me right now is get through the summer. Maybe figure out this home base thing. Be there for my mom if she needs me. Definitely see her in the winter and in the fall. And that's it, man. Try to stay positive, man. Try not to be negative. And that's kind of how I feel. Fred, you might find deals on apartments when the eviction moratorium ends. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Kicks in. Hate to say that. No, it's true. Look, that's part of been the inflation. Because again, you got no evictions. You got people who weren't working. Many were making more than when they were working. That'll end in September. So the general philosophy, and you had the low interest rates, which kept housing up and the stock market up. So you got all those factors. That's why inflation. And my mom was saying, D, $5 super chat, sending my love. Well, D, I appreciate that. And I'm sending my love back. Like I told you before the super chat, I'm thinking about you every day because I know how stressful it is to buy a house. But I know, it's also stressful to be a nomad, to rent. Everything has a give and a take. And what would be my advice to someone? Well, one is don't buy a house till you're in an area you want to live. Make sure the house is below your means. And then you just take it one step at a time. I remember when I sold my house, there was a lot of anxiety selling it, but I did feel better when I got done selling it than when I originally. But I remember saying that I got to just take it one step at a time because every step there was a lot of anxiety. So love TD. Yeah, Fred. Yeah, to Fred's point, yeah, I mean, all the different factors. I was talking to my mom about that because she was saying because she still does a little bit of cleaning for she does like she's in this like a condo complex, so once in a while she'll still like clean someone's place um, for like $75 or something. And I told her don't do it no more. But she's the type of person she'll sleep all day if she don't do nothing. But her knees are not in good shape. So I was talking to her today, and she's like, Sam, she went to get cleaning products, and everything's more money. She goes, Sam, I just went to get the same thing last week. It was only like, I don't know, whatever, $10. She goes, now it's $11. I asked the people, they said the prices went up for them. So in all the different ways, I mean, they gave out the stimulus, they gave out that, and I'm sure it's probably still a net win, but there's other ways that it gets you out your pocket. So, uh, yeah, I don't know, man. Twisted. I stopped watching the news in 2019 after I read a book that explained how it literally is pointless 99% of the time. Yeah, I mean, I feel that. Like I said, last year, though, it was like you had to watch, man. It was a disaster. Twisted. The only thing relevant to most people in the news is the local weather and traffic and local crime and events. Yeah, I mean, to a certain degree, I would say that's right. But even that, man, I don't. What I do, I still check the 10-day forecast just about every day in the morning, because as a nomad, you have to be in line with the 10-day forecast. Even when I'm in a hotel, I still keep that because I got to kind of know the weather patterns. And then, again, in the summer, once you get into June, that's officially hurricane season in the South. But again, last year when I was in New Jersey, in the first week of August, we got that tropical storm at the campground, and we lost electricity for a week and a half. So, or not a week and a half, about a week. So, I don't know. Twisted. Everything that's not local will most likely never affect you. Like a murder in Arkansas or a new startup in France. Who gives a crap? You're literally wasting away your precious life. Yeah, for the most part, I agree with you. Again, obviously, last year, total disaster. Well, for the most part, I agree with you. Suitcase. My Starbucks tastes great. I use purified water. Well, that probably makes a difference. And I use McDonald creamers. Top of the line stuff, bro. I'm not mad at you. You know I'm IBW. Yeah, only the best. I understand that. Twisted. That sounds good, Suitcase. Yep. Yeah, I try to stay away from those creamers, though. I mean, you look in good shape, but for me, man, I don't know, man. I really try to be conscious of maybe because I've been obese and all that. And for me, if I have like 1,000 extra calories, like my ass gets bigger. So everyone has that different DNA metabolism flow. But for me, beyond the weight is how I feel. Now, would I feel bad if I had creamers? Probably not, but creamers, there's something like when I eat the cream, when I drink the creamer, yeah, I don't feel vibrant and healthy. I feel a little bit better, even though I know soy milk's not the best for you. Coconut milk coconut or almond milk is probably the best for you. I used to have almond milk, but soy milk does taste a little bit better, but it's a little bit more unhealthy. So I don't know. A couple creamers probably don't matter, but I don't know. I mean, I guess we all get into our habits, and then we kind of just we go with them. But what I can tell you guys and girls tonight, we've been talking for an hour. And hopefully some of the things we talked about helped you in some way, or, it was just a blessing. I appreciate you guys being here. Twisted. COVID was an exception. Oh, what was that? Oh, COVID, yeah. For the news, yeah, I agree. Yeah, total disaster. And thank God, hopefully that's over with. I mean, now, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. It's just, I want to stay positive. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, we're all on our own journey. Uh, you know, I don't know. I don't know how many people are going up north for the summer. I don't know how many people are north right now, and what you're going to do. Like what are people going to do this Memorial Day weekend? Are you going to go to the ocean? Are you going to go to the lakes? Are you going to go to the campground? In one sense, I'm kind of happy that I'm going to be in South Florida, and I'm not going to go to like Miami Beach on Memorial Day weekend. Why? I don't want to be by those amount of crowds. Man. I'm going to be in a cut, man. So for me, I try to find areas in Florida that aren't that crowded. And there's plenty. Why? Because Florida's a big state, man. There's tons of land. There's tons of beaches. See, that's the difference. Up north, guys, there's small little areas, man. And I need to be able to roam. I need to be able to have my own space, man. As I get older, even more so. Last year I really learned that, man. For me, I gotta have my own space, man. So, look, that's the message tonight. Thank you, everyone who watched. Thank you for all the gracious super chats. Thank you for gracious PayPal contributions. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm not entitled to anything. I just show up, try to do the best I can. I try to share with you guys overall the ups and downs of my journey, but I try to stay up. D says, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. Synovistic knee injection. The third dose is better. I don't know what that is. Oh no! Oh, so you must have like arthritis or something. No cortisone in it helped me and my dad. Oh, you talking about my mom? Yeah, my mom takes like some type of pain medication, but she had got like an MRI, and again, she's in her 70s. She's overweight, and she had blown out her meniscus too at one point. Her when she got the MRI, pretty much she has to get a full knee replacement. She's got like no cartilage. So, but for her to get a knee replacement is very high risk because she's very overweight, and the recovery process for someone at that age, at that physical state, probably more risk than reward. And that's why I kind of agree with that. That's what I've been telling her because, so I don't know. But like I said, because I told my mom, like the thing with a knee replacement, all that is, again, you got to get through the surgery and then you got to get through the recovery. And that's about a year process, right? And that's another year out of your life you never get back. But then beyond that, you have to change your lifestyle. And my mom is not going to change her eating habits, her walking habits. So she's going to go through a year. She's going to give up her life to be in rehab, and hopefully she gets through it in her health. And then she's still going to have the same mindset where I know my mom, she's still going to eat the same way. She's still going to lay around. So, you have to think about that, but everyone's different, Um, but that's a good comment, D. Obviously, if it gets to a point where you're suffering and your quality of life is negative, you got to look at all options. You got to look at all options. So, um, all right, guys and girls. Hopefully, thank you again. Hopefully, my videos help you in some way. I appreciate all the love. Have a peaceful night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.